The Honourable Leader of the New Democratic Party.
Mr. Speaker, the Premier has said here this week that he prefers to focus on the role of employers and businesses in setting wages rather than on the minimum wage. But there are many corporations which, if they are permitted to, will pay so little that their employees will constantly be going under. Approximately 40,000 people in Nova Scotia make minimum wage. They're the people working in grocery stores, cleaners, servers, hotel staff, and others, all of whom look to the government of their province to determine a better standard for their wages. Does the Premier really think $12.95 is a fair or acceptable standard for the government to be setting?
The Honourable Premier.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And we know with the cost of living, we know that the pressures on families, that there's a lot of Nova Scotians that are struggling. We also know that I think roughly half of the number the member has quoted, half of the 40,000 minimum wage workers in this province have a post-secondary education. So we also have an obligation to make sure that they can find a career in their chosen line of study. So there's labor shortages in some industries. There's opportunities in this province. We just need to make sure that as a government, we do what's necessary to properly train people and to match them up with the opportunities that may already exist in this province and may pay $20 an hour, $25 an hour, and can't be filled as we sit here today.
The Honourable Leader of the New Democratic Party on his first supplementary.
Mr. Speaker, the Premier has continued through this week's discussion on this subject to say that his focus is not on the minimum wage as much as it is on growth and on jobs. But as the front page of today's business section of the Herald makes clear, you don't get growth if the jobs pay so little that nobody wants to take them. Tim Rosisco, Executive Director with the Downtown Dartmouth Business Commission, said as much lately when he said that raising wages is one way to bring back workers to industries experiencing a shortage. Will the Premier acknowledge that low wages in our economy are actually holding back and suppressing our economic growth?
The Honourable Premier.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And what I would say again to the member is that when companies need to fill their jobs. If they can't fill their jobs, they go out of business. So I think it's not just on the government to set the wages of the province. Industry has a responsibility there too. And I know there's lots of companies that are already offering $20 an hour, $25 an hour. And I don't know what the honourable member would say to those. Are those companies offering too much to fill the industry? Will when they want to survive, they have to pay the proper amount. Government has a responsibility to be compassionate, be thoughtful, and care for people in this province. But there's a labor shortage in many industries in this province, and it's not driven by the minimum wage set by the province.
The Honourable Leader of the New Democratic Party on his final supplementary.
The Premier continues to miss the point, and it's missed again in the Premier's comments in today's paper, when he asserts that employment somehow is going to be diminished by having a progressive minimum wage. He continues to say this as though he's saying something that's got some economic foundation, but this has zero foundation. This is an idea that has been refuted in research, and the refutation has just been awarded the Nobel Prize in Economics in the work of Canadian David Card. So, Mr. Speaker, will the Premier please give this unfounded idea, as he has expressed it today in the paper, a rest and address the real situations of the 40,000 minimum wage earners in our province who are looking to his government for improvement in their situations?
The Honourable Premier.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. And in addressing the real situation, as the member references, what I would also speak to is the real situation that I see, that I hear, traveling the province that's coming out of a pandemic, coming out of an economy that's trying to rebuild in many industries, lots of companies out of business, and speaking to real people, real business owners about the prospects. We can quote different theoretical academic studies from both sides of any single argument. They'll probably find one today that try to convince me it's not really Thursday. But Mr. Speaker, what I'm focused on is the economy of this province and making sure that every Nova Scotian has an opportunity in this province and sees themselves as being able to thrive right here in Nova Scotia. And it's not driven by the minimum wage. I don't know many Nova Scotians that grow up thinking, boy, I hope I make minimum wage when I grow up. That's not the way people think. They want real jobs.